Hey, what's up? Welcome back to Ground Zero Salem. I am your host, Pat. I'm enjoying some Dementia 5 right now. This was sent to me by a label/collective from Northern Ireland called the Yoshiwara Collective. And they're a bunch of dudes, 3 folks that get together to discuss music. They have regular meetups. They all kind of release stuff collaboratively. It's a really cool idea. All very big metal fans, although a lot of what they release couldn't quite directly be considered that. A lot of kind of 70s inspired stuff, it seems like, which is cool. This is a great cassette. This band's actually from Portland, Maine. The 3 releases I have are actually all of American bands. As you can hear in the background, Dementia 5 has a great kind of hard rock kind of thing going on. Awesome keyboards. This is when they slow it down a little bit on the recording. Kind of punishing sort of biker rock, you know. Kind of reminds me of a lot of different stuff, you know. Some of the riffs are Sabbathy, of course, but some kind of Jethro Tull. Some of the stuff seems like it could come out of Motor City, you know, in the 70s, and Stooges and MC5, stuff like that. Belted out female vocals, real cool, powerful vocal style. It almost reminds me as if I don't know, if like Ian Astbury from The Cult were female. Great stuff. Enjoy this quite a bit. They also sent me this great magazine that they put out. It's the Yoshiwara magazine. It's got a presentation kind of like graphic novel or trade paperback. They use a lot of this sort of comic book style presentation on a lot of their stuff and in their aesthetics. It's really neat. As you can see, they have the Metropolis robot there for their mascot. Can't say I'm too familiar with really any of the bands in this, but they all look pretty interesting. They all kind of look to be in the realms of psychedelia, krautrock, and that kind of stuff. There is a great interview with the ST-37 that I'm going to talk about in a minute. A band from Austin, Texas, that, for lack of a better term, would probably be considered modern psych. They've been around for 30 years at this point, so they've got a lot of interesting things to say about their release, which I'm going to get into right now. This is I'm Not Good by ST-37. Nice gatefold. Kind of looks like a light bright or something there. The gatefold art there is awesome. This like crazy psychedelic flesh outer space thing going on. A lot of their art and stuff reminds me of like the golden era of like Jack Kirby and stuff like that. It's really cool. Musically, it's quite a bit to bite into. I'll try my best because I don't listen to a lot of psychedelic kind of stuff. Hawkwind not excluded from that. It does in moments remind me a lot of Hawkwind just by how heavy it is, how layered and dense this record is. There's a good deal of electronics and sound looping, tape looping, and stuff like that. They definitely jump out of the box quite a bit, if there isn't even a box to be within in this kind of genre. Very dense and lots of distortion. It's got that great Psych lead guitar all over everything, that echoing kind of deal that a lot of bands from the 70s that messed around with that genre are known for. Overall, just like an overwhelming and engaging listen. Noteworthy tracks, I mean, they're all different. None of them really bleed together. They all have their own identity, but I was quite fond of Baxty, which is the first song on the 3rd side. Which almost has sort of almost like a death punk, almost sort of like a post-punk bass line that reminds me of New Order or Joy Division. builds and builds and goes into kind of like a noisy, repetitive, almost crushing kind of crescendo towards the end of it. And the lyrics are about a guy, maybe in the band, maybe not, that is kind of a drunken fool and tries to hang out with you and love you one minute and tries to fight you the next. You know, who doesn't know somebody like that? Feeding Frenzy is a great one on the third side there. It gets a little bit more mellow and almost like kind of country influenced on that. They do a funny cover of I'm In With the In Crowd, that song from the 70s. The opening track, Down on Us, is great. It's got, you know, that kind of dreamy feel, but also pounding and crushing like a lot of good Psych does. Let me just pause this for a sec. Yeah, probably getting a new phone this weekend. So, choppy editing notwithstanding, overall this is a fantastic journey of a record. It's got a lot of that spacey kind of thing going on. I really dig it a lot. Not exposed to music like this all the time. Perhaps I should be, because it seems to really ring with me. But bands of this style it's a pretty overwhelming kind of thing where to start, you know. Pretty much I've just stuck to Hawkwind. So, pardon my, you know, sophomoric attempts at describing this, but it's a fantastic record. Pit Out Back is a good one. There's a lot of talking and weird sampled kind of sound clips and stuff over the instrumentation on a lot of songs on here. And Amphibian Hydrated Gills is a good one as well. That tune in particular has like a more upbeat, almost kind of garage punk driving sort of feel to it, and it lapses into some mariachi horns. I'm gonna drop some sound clips in between all these post-recording this, so you'll be able to hear what I'm talking about. Will probably be better than me trying to describe this, because it's not easy. So, great record, cool gatefold, like I showed. The first LP comes on black, S and T center labels. This was the letterhead they sent me. It's very pro, very nice. Second LP's on white. 3, 7, custom center labels. Then we got Ogre, which was the other LP they sent me. They also sent a 7-inch of the same band. This band's from Portland, Maine as well. It's great doom. I'd say it's kind of that sort of doom that borrows a lot from the 70s stuff, although it doesn't sound straight up like of that era. There's a little bit more dirge to it than that. Very heavy, great vocals, kind of borrowing just as much from Bon Scott, I'd say, as Ozzy or one of those types of vocalists. Very, I don't know, it's got this kind of nasty rock and roll nastiness to it that a lot of the bands that do this kind of traditional or like stonery kind of doom do. It kind of brings it out of the pack that way. Play this record as loud as humanly possible. There's the insert. It comes on a nice orange. It's got a nice little intro bit that goes into an awesome heavy rolling riff, which I'll place a needle drop of right here. And the songs carry through pretty quickly. It's a fun, quick listen. The second song on the second side is an instrumental entitled White Plume Mountain that gets a little bit more spacey, a little bit more psychedelic, almost has sort of a country element to it, sort of. And then it goes into The Hermit, which is one of the heaviest songs on the record. One of the heaviest doom songs I've heard in a while, just in terms of impactful riffing. It's got great sort of Dave Chandler, just the way it's executed, Dave Chandler kind of style from St. Vitus that I really like. Shadow Earth, Nine Princes in Amber, you know, it's got that sort of, you know, drug-influenced sci-fi psychedelia lyrical bass. It's really nice. I should mention that Yoshiwara worked with Pariah Child on these two LPs, which is another guy from that collective, from the Yoshiwara Collective, that has a little bit more of a focus on metal. So he's putting out a Wandering Midget split 7-inch with a band who I can't remember. Let's look it up right here. Garden of Worm, Wandering Midget. Wandering Midget are a awesome doom band. So I'll leave links for all this stuff. These guys are awesome dudes. Very, very nice bunch of fellas. Talked to them online pretty extensively and prattled off about music. I need to check out Abysmal Grief. Gary got me checking them out again. I haven't thought about them in a while. Excellent tastes. And yeah, nice getting out of my comfort zone a little bit, because I do like stuff like this. And I've been so knee deep in death and thrash metal this year that it's nice to cleanse the palate a little bit with something a little different. So hope you guys enjoyed this review, these mini reviews, whatever they are, and I'll be back with my favorites from 2017 soon. Bye.